You like the template that I have for the B squad?
Wait, where's the template at? Hold on, let me maximize this. Sorry, one second.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, Sandy and I were kind of both looking for a funny one. That's a good one. It's simple.
Yeah, simple to the point.
Representative, even. What can you say about BioFreaks?
There is a reason why people believe that that game is as difficult as they believe it is, because it really fucking is.
And it's also disorienting, too.
Yeah, you know, the camera angles don't help, but the fact that, like, that game, there's, like, no manuals for it, so there's no real way of, like, oh, let me practice and figure this out. Like, the only way you could really practice if you were doing, like, 2-player.
Right.
But yeah, and the PC is not forgiving.
Oh, the CPUs?
Yeah, they are not forgiving. I mean, anybody that's seen Maximilian's video knows that that's not false. It's you know
Yeah. That's
that that game will turn you into a scrub lord.
an accurate representation of the BioFreaks experience. But thankfully, that game had the Sapo meme, which we embraced wholeheartedly. And then Bust the Groove just became like one of our themes. Yeah, it's good.
You always gotta bust the groove.
Always. And if you're not, you're doing something wrong. And then as for the Injustice games, yeah, honestly, I don't know why I forgot to add those. But
Yeah, I was gonna point that out too. There's no injustice. What the fuck? That is an injustice.
Racist. Well, yeah. Injustice. No, not the racism thing. No, Injustice was. Yeah, I kind of regret not adding that because honestly, both 1 and 2 are capable of being either good or badass. Which, by the way, here's our tier list here. Obviously, the best is going to be God tier, and not any like individual game, but you could add like a few up there. Then we got badass, good, cool, meh, and for the memes, kill it with fire, which I could already think of one on the list that I'm 1000% gonna put on there. So, yeah, like Injustice 1 and 2 are great in their own rights.
Well, we can just treat it like we're treating BioFreaks, that they're there, you just don't have an image for them.
Yes. So, I mean, if it were up to you, where would you put Injustice 1 and or 2?
Injustice 1 and or 2.
Well, the first one and then the second.
So, Injustice 1, I probably put it good.
Good? I could agree with that.
Talk about Injustice?
Hey, what's good, Matt?
Not much. Sorry about that. That was the longest 30 seconds.
It's cool, man.
It's okay. We understand you have Matt time.
Matt time.
Indeed. It may or may not include getting Wingstop on the way back home, but yeah, anyway.
Hey.
At least it wasn't Chipotle.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
that would have been a
my...
Matt-tastrophe.
Dude, that's on my blacklist. That's on my blacklist now. After a couple days ago.
Chipotle.
Yeah, like fucking. Oh wait, was it Chipotle or Del Taco? No, Chipotle. I got their carne asada salad for like the 10th time this month. Or
damn.
And then like, it's good. It's really good. And then one day I ate it, woke up one morning, and I was like, dude, I can't go to work. My stomach hurts.
Yeah, I bet. But yeah, we were just talking quickly about for one, Injustice 1 and 2, I forgot to actually put on the list. So, do you have any opinions on those? And if you do, where would you put them on the tier list?
Let's see. I'll make my way through the tier list right now.
Okay.
But if I had to choose, I want to say the first one is good.
Yeah.
The second.
I agree.
Yeah, because I don't know. Story-wise, they were great.
Yes.
And I kind of felt like they dropped the ball with the second one because it did not carry over some characters from the first to the second.
That's fair.
Like what?
Honestly, an over-reliance on supplementary material, honestly.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Like Killer Frost, Doomsday, Solomon Grundy were like some of the characters that they kind of left behind. Hawkgirl.
Yeah. But everything else was pretty solid. They added that new mechanic, or not mechanic,
Flash.
The Flash is in there.
Or
are you talking about the
stage transitions?
Yes, stage transitions. Ninja Turtles the Ninja Turtles were pretty cool.
Oh, Injustice 2? So, actually,
Yeah.
I would actually have it at Badass. I really enjoyed the second game, and I definitely put the most time on that, because that came around the time that I was still in Germany, and there was really nothing else to do. So, when it came out, I was grinding that game like a motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
But, yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. And then, what about you, Jose? You didn't get to talk about the second one. Jose?
Sorry, I was eating something.
Oh, okay.
I would have to put the second one. Honestly, it's going to be between good and badass.
So, like, maybe top good, bottom badass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mainly because of the fact that, like, I enjoyed the story, but like, some of the gameplay just kind of felt a little sluggish from time to time.
I could see that. Yeah.
And it's like, it's one of those things where, you know, I get NRS, they make games the way they make them, but it would still have been nice to see them kind of deviate from what they normally do and try to really make Injustice its own thing.
Like its own kind of feel to, like, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect it. I mean, they did have some differences with the whole 3-button mechanic instead of the 4. But nonetheless, I mean, shit. You remember the first one? They had some unblockable, like, stage interactions, which, you know, is absurd.
Oh yeah, the fucking what was it? It was like you usually hit R1 to use either the control panel to shoot you with a laser.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the general consensus from us is Injustice 1 and 2 are generally good games.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. So,
But
I guess
now, if we ever get an Injustice 3, why be good when it could be better?
It could be, yeah. And starts with actually putting on fucking music we could hear. Anyways, so the first one is going to be Guilty Gear Strive. So this one's going to be interesting too, because for one, I probably put the least time in it. But I don't know, Jose, Matt, if you guys have played it, like often, relatively?
Not too often, but I do have it. I've been meaning to get back on it because every now and then I see Arc System release a new character. Every character they bring out, I kind of want to just get back onto it.
Or like Slayer recently.
Yeah, Slayer.
Yeah,
And-
that's why I'm gonna start playing it again because of Slayer. That's my boy.
No Slayer, no player, as they say.
Slayer player.
So with that, where would you put it on the list? Even with the little time that we put on it.
I want to say because what I've been off the game for a while, but it seemed like one of their recent patches they did or recent updates they made the mechanic was it burst? They made the burst more screen wider. So no matter where you're at on screen, you can just burst out the combo and you still get smacked out of it. I kind of found that a little too not easy for the opponent, but more unfair. I don't know. I can't find the right word, but before that patch, it was much more better. You just had to be close to the enemy, and then they can burst and you get hit. But now if you're on the other side of the screen, you can still get hit. It's like a full screen wide burst now, and because of that, I want to say this game is more. I want to say the game's badass in a badass tier.
Badass?
Yeah.
Jose, would you agree with that?
Yeah, for the most part, I would. I would say. I mean, okay. So I'm looking at all of these not just as gameplay, but I'm looking at like character design, like story if there is one.
Music.
So I would say badass because I mean, obviously if we're going based off music, this is damn near God tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like going off of everything I say, one reason why I'm gonna say badass is because we essentially got a proper ending for some of the characters that we've been following since the original Guilty Gear.
Okay.
Until they get dragged back in.
Yeah. Until they,
okay.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, this is. Oh Jesus Christ! This is gonna be. Yeah, I don't know. the screen kind of freaked out for a second, but yeah, I'm okay with putting it in a badass, even though I don't personally have like a whole ton of time put in it. I am not gonna deny that the animation is really freaking good, as well as the music, and yeah, like honestly, this Strive is one of those Guilty Gear games where it's like, if you really want to get into the series, this is one of the games to play.
Indeed, definitely beautiful visually too.
Yeah.
Like you said.
So.
And I would. I was actually going to give it a. I was actually going to put it in the tier good. But then I remembered, like, oh yeah, they got those two characters, Giovanna and Elka, so let's move it up a little bit also.
Just scooch it up a little bit.
Just a little bit, just because of those two.
All right.
Biken immediately gets God tier.
Biken herself is God tier.
Yeah.
That walk animation is enough to sell anybody.
Walk it like you talk it.
Alright, so 13, KOF 13. I already know where I want to put this, but I want to get you guys' take on it.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to contribute because my only real KOF games I played were like a little bit of 14 and currently 15.
Right.
But I do hear a lot of good things about it.
Okay.
13, I'm going good.
Okay.
Yeah, same, good.
All right, fair enough.
Like, yeah, it's like it's a solid fighter. It's a solid team fighter. But I just don't think the transition has been fully realized yet.
Yeah,
into the 3D realm. Like the classic King of Fighters, those ones were a lot more solid. And once they kind of got to the penultimate ones, like in the early thousands, it really particular time. Now it's kind of like, okay, it's a part of the pack.
Yeah, so for me, this is actually the first KOF game I've ever played, and God
You
damn.
child.
Dude, it was a hard trip. Like, when you go from a game like Street Fighter, where it's a lot more simple and technical, to a game like KOF 13, where the combo potential is absolutely ridiculous to execute. Like, dude, like seeing combo videos online on 13 specifically, it's like, how are you connecting those? And like, oh my god, like I'm in awe of that every time. But I gotta give the credit that it is also some of the best 2D sprites that you're ever gonna see in a fighting game. And the music is pretty good too.
Nice.
So, but yeah, for the general consensus, I'll put it on good as well. Yeah. I don't know. Any thoughts about that?
Oh,
No,
I'm with what they said.
Yeah, I think we like all that. That was like I think that was an easier decision than you probably thought it was gonna be.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, because obviously for this is a group conversation. I'm not gonna make it about me, of course.
No, you would never do a thing like that.
No,
Never.
fuck no. Anyways,
There's a secret tier list behind this one that he's actually putting where he wants it to go.
yeah, this is the for the casuals tier list, and then behind like the next tab is my objective tier list, and if yours is different, then you're fucking wrong. So
Kick the Discord.
yeah, kicked out of Discord, blocked on Twitter.
Block on Twitter.
So, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, that is the last of the, actually, no, that's not true. But it's last of the PS2 era.
I played a little bit of it, but I can't remember the events of the life for me. But I do remember having a lot of fun, so I'm gonna give it a cool.
Cool?
Yep, cool for me.
Alright.
You know, honestly, I agree with that. I think because yeah, it was the last of the PS2 era.
I don't know why it does
Okay.
that. So, it's fucking weird.
Yeah, no, I think cool is proper because memory serves me correctly. That's the one with the pyramid, right?
Pyramid of Argus, correct.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that was just kind of like, you know, it was the end of an era.
Yes. The
So,
end of the
I
original
think-
timeline.
Yeah. So I think that was yeah, I would say cool. I mean, mechanics were kind of iffy here and there,
Hit
but
and
you know,
miss.
no fighting game is perfect.
No. But they could be close.
Yeah, true. They did.
Yeah. Honestly, the reason why I would personally have this one higher, I'm not going to change it, but the reason I would have this personally higher is because, for one, you have every single character from Mortal Kombat's history put into this. You got the creative fighter, which they have never done since. And not to mention, Conquest mode was actually pretty fun, as well as, unironically, Motor Combat, which was the racing spoof that they had. Like, there was some
The
fun
one
to be
thing
had
that
with
everybody
this.
wants back.
Yeah, dead ass. Like, it was actually pretty
Combat
fun.
card.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I liked it for those reasons specifically. I wasn't big on the fighting game mechanics itself. Like, the aerial combat was interesting, but it was still kind of stiff for me. So having it in cool, I'm okay with it.
Okay, nice.
All right, motherfuckers.
Oh dear.
Kill it with fire! Kill it with fire!
Fire! Lake of fire!
What do you do? I'm a little behind.
He brought up Killer Instinct, so it was like,
I see it.
For the record, Matt, I am stream sharing, so you could check the Discord and go through that.
Oh, I'm looking at Twitch.
Yeah, go to the Discord. So go ahead, give your takes.
Personally, I I wouldn't put it higher than badass personally. I do understand that it is a fucking. Welcome back, Matt.
That's the wrong button. Sorry.
I understand that it's a solid game. It's a lot of fun. The characters are cool. The music's pretty good. The combos, like, it's excessive. It's a lot of fun in the game. But at the same time, I personally also do feel that fun kind of does have a smaller shelf life if you're not a hardcore player. Because then it's like, when you get the players that, it's kind of the same thing that happens with Street Fighter nowadays. You get those people who are too much of a tryhard that you can't really have a whole hell of a lot of fun with the game anymore because, oh, I can just beat the hell out of the AI for a couple hours, or I could try to play with actual people and get better, but actually just get reamed.
Yeah. And then Jose?
So I do agree with him because of the fact that Killer Instinct, like, you know, all jokes aside, like, I love the game. I grew up, like, you know, that's one of the games I grew up with. But I will admit that game, there is no learning curve.
Yeah.
You just have to over and over and over and over and over and hope to God that, you know, you're able to get your strings in and keep it going. And John made a really valid point. Like, this game is also the game where, like, so, like, let's say we're all playing, we're just having fun. Yeah, you know, do some cool stuff. That's great. That's fine. But then you run into somebody who's overly competitive and they're hitting you with like 100+ hit combos. And it's just like, yo, we're not at Evo, man.
Yeah.
Take a breather. It's fine. You know? Like, and in this game, you definitely feel it. You definitely feel like, oh, I'll just put the controller down so you can go ahead and get another 200 hits. Go ahead. I'll watch.
Yeah, that's fair. Honestly, I agree with John as well, in the sense that, like, the game does admittedly have a shorter shelf life. And, I mean, as much as I hate to admit it, it does feel a little bit dated to what we have right now. But still, it's definitely a nostalgia pick for me. Like, because again, like Jose, I grew up with this, the Super Nintendo version specifically, and I'm always bopping to the music, bro. Like, that's one of my main sells as well.
I mean, again, if we were doing a music tier list, this would be like close to God tier, along with like Guilty Gear, like,
yeah,
hands down.
No doubt, no doubt. All right.
I'll agree with him. I'll give it a badass also. I didn't play a lot of it, but I remember watching that big on the big screen during Evo 2023 last year.
Oh, so that's the new one. This is the like OG 95 version, or 94, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Fake fan. He didn't have the right date.
Shut the hell up.
Chill out.
I like the personal canon that this came out the year I was born, but I'm 1 year off, unfortunately. Motherfuckers. But see, I can be democratic with this, even though you're wrong. But so
yeah, I'll still give it a badass.
Oh, I'm gonna screenshot this at the end, so that way if you post this tier list up somewhere, I'll know if you changed it.
No, I'll be nice. Because again, it's not my tier list. I already did that like a few months back, so I'm good. I freaking blew my load. I'm good. Anyways, so now we're gonna go.
Clarity.
Yeah, that post not clarity is a real thing. So, this is one that I have no experience with, so I'm gonna leave it to y'all. That's Battle Arena Toshinden, I believe.
Meh.
Yeah.
Just put it in there.
I think goes meh.
I think I said that one. I forgot. One of it was either like me or Daniel or someone who said that. Trust me, we were joking. So it's meh.
Yeah, it's like as it went on, the series got better, but the first one is just absolutely meh.
Yeah, like honestly, if we had the other ones, it would be I would say probably cool, but that specific one, no, it's gonna be a meh.
All right. Yeah, fair enough.
I never played it, but I'll give it a meh.
Just look up gameplay and you'll understand why.
Yeah, it's like from the era of the original Virtua Fighter 1 and 2 and like early, like not even Soul Calibur, but Soul Blade. So
Right.
like,
Yeah.
and it was kind of the first one was the worst of all those games combined.
Yeah.
I will say,
Go ahead.
I will say, like, if you're with friends and y'all want to have like a drinking game, by all means, you can have some fun with it. But
Yeah.
the only reason you have fun with it because you're drinking.
Right.
But you know, so but other than that, like, yeah, I say meh.
All right. Well, speaking of Soul Calibur, that's gonna bring us to Soul
You better
Calibur
put that
6.
shit up at badass. You better put that shit up at badass right now.
That's right now.
I don't know, man. I just don't really see the hype of the game. It gets way more hype than it really deserves to be, and all right, I just lost my confidence. Dislike to hell.
Where's Sandy?
Right?
Where's Sandy at?
It's Max's fault. if Maxi was in the game, it would be God tier. I swear.
It's like, I could feel the steam coming out of people's heads. How dare you?
I mean, okay, so realistically, like the entire Soul Calibur franchise, all the way back to what was Soul Blade and Soul Edge.
Yep.
It's one of those franchises that has done a really good job at like storytelling.
Right.
Like, you know, it just kind of kept it going. The characters were interesting. You know, obviously, I think it was Soul Calibur V. They made a mistake keeping out Taki, and then the weird brother-sister thing, and yeah.
I forgot Taki was in 5. That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember her student was in it. Her student that's looking for her was in it, and it's like, guys, she and Ivy are your bread and butter.
Yep.
Why would you leave one of them out?
Both have bread and butter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
But Taki was a teacher.
I guess
No,
so.
Taki. No, okay, so in the events of Soul Calibur V, Taki is off on a mission, and if I remember correctly, her clan loses contact with her. So her student is trying, the ninja character in the game is her student, and she's trying to find Taki.
Oh, okay.
Oh, got it.
And they didn't bother trying to put a tracker spell on them titties.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could have 2 trackers.
It's like that, with how big those things are, it's like you can probably see them fucking Mars and they couldn't find her.
True.
Every time
Probably
she walks
did,
by
but-
you, bro, an eclipse happens.
Wait, they probably did put a tracker on him, like one, but they kind of fucked up. So like one titty the receiver, the other one has the retriever.
It's the sponge. it's the SpongeBob meme where he's lying down on the grass and you see these two like shades of the bumps in front of him.
But I will also say too, jokes aside, I mean, like, especially this Soul Calibur game, come on,
Right.
the game is just so fucking beautiful.
No,
It really
no,
is.
it
It
is.
really is.
I love it. The
Yes.
character
You
creation
know-
is so fun. I spend more time on the creator than the actual game.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hands down, I think Soul Calibur probably has one of the best character creations. I know in 4, me and my friends, when I was living in North Carolina, we made an entire roster of created characters, and we would only play that roster.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Like, basically, we looked at every character. We made sure each created character was, you know, representing one of the main roster. But like, we just designed them to what we wanted them to look like, and dude, like, it just made the game like 10 times better.
Hell yeah.
Oh, so side note, if you guys stop hearing music, please let me know, just in case.
don't hear anything.
You sure?
Not on here. Maybe on. Hold on. Let me check your Twitch. Let me see if it's.
Yeah, it's gotta be on the Twitch, man.
I kind of had to mute you, unmute your Twitch because duplicate voices were happening in my head.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine.
Oh, it is. Okay, no, it's on your Twitch. It's just not on here.
Okay, that's odd, but okay.
Look at this. Look at this streamer. He doesn't have his equipment correct, man. What's wrong with him? Boo this man. Internet, boo this man.
I am a budget channel, goddammit. But no, and if I'm not mistaken, Soul Calibur 6 is helped the inception of the Butter Squad, right?
Yeah. During lockdown, this was the game that we played every night for about a month straight, Matt?
Oh
yeah, a month or two, I believe.
Yeah, like 2 months straight, where we were literally hop online, play. Like we would make a lobby and we would play like 2 to 4 hours.
Oh man.
Absolutely.
And the funny thing is, none of us were recording or streaming it, and it was like, damn,
missed opportunity. Yeah. Well,
next time, though.
Hey, who knows?
Next pandemic.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Next plague.
Maybe next time, folks. Shoot. But yeah, the experience that I really have with Soul Calibur 6 is thanks to Sandy. And, you know, like, obviously playing with you guys sometimes as well. So, I am perfectly cool with it being on Badass tier. Just because of what it represents to our group in general, too. So, yeah, man.
After dark.
Hey, we churning butter, folks.
Oh, we churning butter.
Alright.
Yeah, boy.
Street Fighter II Turbo.
No. Say it correctly. Super Street Fighter II Turbo.
Online edition. Anyways.
It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You got to say the whole thing.
You're right. Yeah, so
Like how Matt giggled at that.
I know, that's so subtle.
Proceed.
Yeah, this one is more of a, you could, you know, depending on which one you grew up with, this is just more of a whole collection of the Street Fighter 2 games. So
Yeah.
for me, at least Badass for me.
I would say Badass because for a generation of fighting game players, this was the key game for them.
Yes.
So I could agree with you and say Badass. I think that's correct because, like I said, for a core generation, this was the fighting game.
Right.
Yeah, it's even though I am a certified Street Fighter hater,
Oh shit.
I actually have to agree. It is a good game. It is an important game, and it was like a gateway game for practically a whole generation.
Yeah, very much so. And then Matt?
And by the way, guys, he's only a hater because Dan hasn't been unlocked yet on Street Fighter.
Goddamn right.
That's why you
The
got
minute
5.
They put Dan in the game, the minute they put Dan in the game, he's just gonna go God mode and beat all of us relentlessly.
Oh, fuck.
Dan's my boy.
Yeah, that's why you go to Street Fighter 5, dude.
Not the same.
No, it really isn't.
Not the same.
No, it ain't. Matt, what's your take on Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo?
I'm gonna give it a Badass.
Right.
Because, well, I never played it, so I can't really give you. But my first real Street Fighter was Ultra 4, so I can't really.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
I'm still freshly new.
Damn.
Wow, you should feel bad. Yeah, you should definitely feel bad.
I do. I tell myself that every day I wake up.
Oh shit.
You're like, my life would be so much more if I started earlier.
Yep. No, I feel like if you start more earlier, if I put, well, we'll get to that. You'll see which game I'm talking about. We'll get to that.
All right.
It's in there. It's in your list. Yeah,
Okay.
I think the Badass.
Okay. I got you. So, Mortal Kombat 3. And for the record, I am including Ultimate MK3 in this.
Okay.
That's God tier for me.
Yeah, honestly,
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie, like that, and that's not even me being biased. That's just, I remember being a kid, arcades, and there were always people around MK3. There was always a crowd around it. People were playing, whether it was like a tournament setting or just like playing to play casual. There was always people there.
Right. Yeah.
It was, on top of that, it just, everything just worked so well. It's like they had the old school style to it,
Yeah.
but everything had been just updated in the best possible way. It was perfection.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I actually played MK3 through a very non-traditional means. I played it on the Midway Arcade Treasures on the PSP. Which, I know, it's fucking weird, right? But, and for the record, that's the original MK3 that was on there, so I never really had the opportunity to play the Ultimate version, which, you know, for those who don't know, had Scorpion in that, and not in Vanilla 3 for some reason. But, yeah, like, the whole run mechanic and the true traditional combos that you could do in the game is very fun. Very fun.
Nice.
Not to mention, yeah, I think Shao Kahn was more imposing in that game than in MK2. He was just a bigger pain in the ass to deal with.
Dude, this version of Shao Kahn, the very first time I ever heard him say, "You suck," I'm like, what the hell?
I'm like, you're right, sir.
You suck!
Insult to injury, goddamn.
It's like, I'm not the one that looks like a
who did
naked
that?
cowboy wrestler, you fuck. Yeah, and MK3 is very, very good. So, that's gonna bring us to Third Strike.
God tier.
Yep.
That's a god tier.
I
didn't play it.
fucking... Yep.
Yeah.
I was just
I never
waiting for
played
the
it.
confirmation, bro.
It's god tier.
Yeah.
I never played, but I know it's god tier, dude. Like, you can ask any Street Fighter fan in the fucking world, and they will resort to Third Strike. I swear to God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, even like
Dude,
the music is amazing.
Yes, it is.
the music, the art style, the characters in it, my boy Dudley for days, you know, like it was just like almost near perfect.
Almost.
Like almost, you know. There were some things, but like other than that, like it was just so good.
Yeah.
Like that's a game that I could literally I don't play a lot of Street Fighter, but I will play that one.
Right. God damn it. And now that I'm looking
And
at
it's
the
there.
list...
Yo,
Fuck. I'll talk about it in just a second, but yeah, I agree. Third Strike is very good. Like, the parry system was always satisfying to pull off if you get the timing right, because it is incredibly difficult. And
Yeah.
that's why Evo Moment 37 gets such high praise, because of how difficult each individual timing really was to pull off. But, yeah, man, like, if it wasn't so viable for, like, maybe 6 characters on the roster, I would consider it, like, one of the more perfect games to play.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I hear the music for this game, every time I hear music, I feel like I just missed out on some golden shit back then.
oh you
Because you
missed
did.
out. Yeah, you did. Well, see, that's the funny thing is that John and I were there.
Yes.
So you know it's golden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were there. Like, granted, we weren't like, we didn't know each other as kids, but like we were the generation that we were pumping. We know what it means to put a quarter on an arcade cabinet.
Same,
Yeah.
same here. Yeah, it was good. Honestly, with Third Strike, it's just one of those games where people didn't really get to appreciate it until years later, because it didn't get the initial love that it did, especially recently.
Frankly, yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Which is terribly unfortunate because it is one that deserved a lot more love than it really got.
Yeah.
Need
But
more love.
hey, at least it's getting its love now, right? So
Oh yeah.
Finally.
you could thank Daigo and Justin for that. Tekken 3? I'm gonna leave this one to you guys, because I've actually not played a lot of Tekken 3.
3 is god tier to me. To me,
You know,
personally.
Yo, honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with that because I feel like 3 was when they really started making Tekken what it is now.
Right.
It's like the story went just absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
Was this was
you
3
had-
the one with Jin going for his story?
Yep.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
beginning of the time jump from 2 to 3, and then Jin became the main character.
And on top of that, you also had, what was it, like 42 characters unlockable or something like that?
Yeah, it was a
It
lot.
was like
it
some
was,
ridiculous amount, and they all had endings.
Right.
All
Yep,
of them.
every single character had an ending. Tekken, and if we're gonna talk about music like we've been doing with all the other ones, Tekken's always had good music.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
They rarely miss.
we should do a tier list of music next time.
Hey,
Let's do
you
it.
got it. You got
If it's
it.
going to be video game music, Guilty Gear's God tier immediately. We already know that.
Yeah. Dude, oh man. Listening to Kai's theme and, what was it? Guilty Gear XX, the Korean version? Woo! Fuck,
Yeah.
man. I get goosebumps listening to that.
It's like that was the only video game soundtrack I ever bought back in the day. Back when I lived in San Francisco, I went to this record store in Japantown and saw that they had that, and I was like, yes, this is immediately going to be mine, and probably all I listen to for the next 6 weeks. And it was!
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I think after Tekken 3 as well is when Jin actually had his moveset changed. And it was because of the freaking story, which was really cool. Which, yeah, if you guys didn't know, the TLDR of it is that he stopped using Mishima style because of Heihachi, and then from Tekken 4 onward is when he used more of his own kind of style to it.
Yep, he started doing mommy style.
Kazama style.
I think I hate my dad. I use mom's moves.
My dad, I hate my grandpa.
I hate my grandpa.
My mom gives me milk and cookies, until she died, but not really.
Yeah.
She didn't die. She literally took a nap.
Yep, a really long
Long out. That's not a nap. That's a fucking coma.
Yeah, that's true too.
Thank God, die.
That's a hell of a beauty nut, my friend. So, yeah, hopping back to the 3D era is Deception.
I never played it.
Bad Deception.
So,
That one, I would call it good.
I agree.
Yeah, I would say good.
I agree.
Was that good?
Yeah.
Let's go off instinct.
Yeah, it wasn't.
She's going up with instinct.
Never played it.
Yeah, Onaga was like the main villain of the game, and honestly, I feel like if they put more love to his actual like personality and story, he would have definitely been up there with Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung. But then they never really gave him the time of day for it, so he was just one of those once-off villains like Chronica and MK11, to where it's like, well, he had his moment to shine, and then just move on to the next one. So
You'll never see him again.
yeah, well, but you do in Mortal Kombat 1 some of the endings, but that's it.
Yeah, some of the endings you saw him in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. It's funny in the opening cinematic. I think it's Shao Kahn or Shang Tsung. They're on the top of the pyramid and they knock people down and they think that they're gonna win. And then Onaga just flies in and carries him away, and like you just see him like ripping his head off as they're flying.
Yeah, so Onaga actually takes Shao Kahn, and somehow Shao Kahn was able to escape him, and he ended up being the one to win the at the pyramid and became the new like Armageddon, you know, like he was the champion. And that's why Raiden reset the timeline, because he won. So yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. But yeah, like going back to Deception, they had some interesting mini games where it was chess combat as well as puzzle combat. Puzzle combat actually had a pretty good amount of time put in because it was fun. It was like Puyo, essentially. Puyo.
Was the Deception the one that had chess combat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, and then they also brought back some of the stage fatalities too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deadly Alliance, which we'll get to later, for some reason didn't have any stage fatalities.
They were like, nah, bro, we're good right now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's the TLDR for Deception there. Marvel vs. Capcom 1.
Good.
Good?
Good. Part 1 is good. It had the seeds of greatness.
Right.
Okay, the way you just said that, I 100% agree. I was initially gonna say between good and badass, but the way that you just said that, I agree with you. Good.
Yeah, I was gonna say cool, but I'll agree. Good.
Okay.
It's like it's on the threshold between good and cool.
Yeah, because like John just said, the seeds were planted.
Right.
You know, this was letting us know, hey, this is something, and this is going to become something great. And then, you know, it's going to falter, and then it's going to be mediocre, but maybe one day it'll be great again.
Just like Capcom.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. And I'm really glad that they are finally back on their feet after these years, bro. With DMC5 and Street Fighter VI, oh man, it's good to see them back.
Well,
It's taken them long enough, but they still haven't really put Dan into the damn game yet.
Alright, it's one 1 year. They got time.
Yeah.
Dan gets put in 6, and he now knows the Dark Huddle.
Hey, I mean, if it happened in the comics, it could happen in the games.
They're giving him a lot of love in the Street Fighter Duel mobile game now.
That's true.
They got a lot of love there. It's like 3 different variants of them.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Alright, so, yeah, here we go. 2002 UM. What are you guys' takes on that?
Holy shit.
Hey, okay.
Damn. Hold on, let me see if I can summon Cesar again. Cesar, come back. I need your input.
Join us, Cesar.
The ritual.
I swear to God, if he chimed in, I would leave right now.
I'd
be like,
yeah,
nope.
Be like,
Oh,
fuck
no.
the stream, I'm out of here. Oh man. Well, yeah, on the chance that he doesn't show up, 2002 UM definitely has some of my favorite music as well. And honestly, the 2D sprites in this can almost rival that of 13's.
Oh, by the way, it looks like you got a question in your chat.
So with Smash, did I put that? Oh no, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I mean, we'll still talk about it, I guess. Yeah, that's fine because I did actually play through them.
Yeah. Yeah, when I met
will
you,
stay
you were
quiet during it.
Oh, there's more down there.
Fair enough.
There's more at the bottom.
Oh yeah, there's definitely more, my good sir.
For sure.
And there's real quick, Matt, because I think you had stepped away. Oh no, you weren't here yet. There are there's 3 games. You were here for part of it. There's 3 games that aren't listed on here that we've already included. Both Injustice games, which you were here for, and BioFreaks.
I never played BioFreaks, unfortunately. I heard of it, never played it. The good amount of games on this list I have not played, and I'll let you guys know. But I still give my take on what you guys give.
Fair enough.
And then we'll do the same for Smash Brothers. We'll, granted there's no image for it on here, but we'll towards the end we'll get to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
sounds good. Let's do it. Thanks, Kite FL or Kit FL. Sorry.
He tried.
Wait,
he tried.
wait a minute. I'm looking at the chat above his name, and is that?
That's
Can I be racist?
I know Daniel's stupid, bro.
There's something keeps going. Like, look over these nuts.
Yeah, I know. That's our Daddy Summit for you.
Daddy Summit, I love you.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna have to say for this one, maybe just good.
I can agree.
Good or cool.
Yeah. When Cesar gets back, I'll definitely bring this up to him since he brought it up earlier.
Oh, he gonna tear you a new one.
No. I feel like we're on the same boat. Relatively, because I did put some time in UM specifically. Plus, 2002 original does have Tacos Dance, which is unironically the funniest SNK song. But so Tekken 2. This one I'm gonna let you guys talk about because I know nothing about the original Tekkens.
Ooh.
Tekken 2 is a little bit harder to place, in all honesty. Because, Tekken 3 was phenomenal. It was, to me, it was the fighting game of that generation. But Tekken 2, I personally think that would probably go with just kind of cool. It was, because Tekken 1 was a more expanded Virtua Fighter for all intents and purposes.
Yes.
It wasn't anything special. It was just like, okay, instead of just a moveset, you actually had to worry about left, right.
Yeah.
And kind of with that, 2 expanded on the formula, but it didn't do much. There was just a couple more characters and the graphics were a little bit better. It was starting to kind of push story forward a little bit, but you didn't get any of that really fully fleshed out until 3 and then 4 and then 5. That's when the series really came into its own.
Yeah.
I can completely agree with him. I think it was for this tier list, it would be cool.
Yeah, I could see that. All I really know about Tekken 1 and 2 is that both Heihachi and Kazuya literally changed roles, and that Kazuya was the protagonist in 1, and Heihachi was the main villain, and then the second one, Kazuya is the main villain, and Heihachi's the protagonist. It's so weird.
A full circle.
Yeah, quite literally. At least until Jin comes into the fray in the next game, where they're both villains.
Yeah, it's like Tekken 3, wherein Kazuya got some.
Yep. Yup. Yeah, I forgot to mention Kazuya isn't even in 3, huh?
No, I don't think he is.
Yeah, because
He's only he's not in it because it's Jin and then Devil Jin. I don't think they put Kazuya in it.
Yeah, because he was dead, right?
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Not really.
I'm kidding.
Tekken 4
It's like
intro,
Matt, you
literally.
had more than enough time.
Yeah. It's like saying Heihachi died in 5. I mean, lol.
That game is as old as some adults.
I need an adult. I am an adult. All right, yeah. I've been looking forward to this one. Capcom versus SNK 2.
God tier. There is no discussion needed. You put that in God tier. You show it the respect it deserves.
And the amount of people that got hella happy when it was announced in that collection recently.
Oh yeah, that's a phenomenal game.
That's definitely God tier.
Yeah, that like Capcom versus SNK 2, like that's God tier. And now if you were gonna be like SNK Chaos, that's a different story.
Oh, SVC Chaos. Oh man.
Yeah, that's But no, this Capcom vs SNK 2, because again, that's one of those games that if you were there for the arcades, you knew what it was about. Like that, you would go to the arcade, and so far the 4 God tier games we have, those were the ones that the cabinets were always packed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And Capcom vs SNK 2, that is a game I will never play again though, because of the one time I beat Jared so horrifyingly at that.
Do tell.
Okay, story time, children. Come around.
Yes.
Come around.
Get that cold, baby.
Now, what had happened was we had a pirate copy, wink wink, and we were just sitting playing it, and initially, Jared was running the whole group through with little issues. And then I told him, "You're going down."
Uh-huh.
He laughed. I picked my 2 favorite characters from SNK, Harry Bogard
Okay.
and Iori Yagami.
Alright.
My third,
No.
Dan Hibiki.
Oh my god.
And he wiped my first 2 characters
Uh-huh.
with his first character.
Athena.
And then I wiped him and his whole team with Dan.
Oh, damn. The biggie.
He had
now you
no
guys
idea
know
what
the
the hell
lore.
was going on.
That's wild. Oh man.
Hey,
Now
guys
you
should
know
play.
the more.
You should
And
play
that was
Capcom
when I
versus SNK.
retired.
Never get on it again.
You left with the dub. I respect that.
How long ago was this?
Yeah, right. How long ago was that, John?
Oof. Let's see. That was before I knew Jose, before I knew Karen. Shit, it's probably almost a whole ass adult, if not 20 years.
Damn!
You been holding that up for 20 years?
Hell yes!
Oh my god. That's almost around the time it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Once we
God.
got the home release of it, that was it. It was just play that consistently, and then totally legit copies of Tatsunoko vs. Capcom as well.
Nice.
Totally legit copies.
Yeah.
Totally.
Very
So
good. Wait,
Oh
wait.
damn, that's another game we forgot to put on this list.
Tatsunoko?
Yeah.
We could talk about that in a second, but I'll just give my take. Like, I mean, we haven't really mentioned it anyways, but you guys already freaking know, bro. The music in this game fucking slaps. True Love We're Making is
Oh, hell yeah.
recognizable as hell by like any casual fighting game fan. And honestly, the character select was also very iconic too. Hearing that in the arcades, you are not gonna miss it. Like in the sense that you will not be able to ignore it. Yeah,
The soundtrack is, I put it up there in fighting game terms as the same as like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's super distinctive and it's super good.
Yep. And we already know that the tumor that is God Rugal. See,
We don't speak about him.
that reaction just says it all. Come on.
We don't
Jenna.
speak about God Rugal.
Well, I mean, we're talking about KOF games, so we have to.
No, we don't. You know the rules. He's banned.
Yes, he is. If you even have a little bit of Mexican in your blood, you know why. So, speaking of fighters, that's gonna bring us to 14.
My introduction game. Hey.
Hey. All right,
I
so
actually remember when we were playing that.
yeah, briefly.
Yep. I'll
right?
get. Briefly,
Yeah,
yep.
this was the game that Matt. If I remember correctly, this is where the joke came from of Matt, get your notebook.
Yep. Still got it.
Yeah.
So,
It still doesn't help.
yeah, since you probably put the most time into Matt, I'll go ahead and let you go first.
I'll let's see. Honestly, my first KOF game, definitely fun with the homies. Lovable characters too. There's a good amount of characters.
A lot.
I actually was happy that knowing, definitely, and I was actually happy knowing that the characters don't actually share a health pool. They have their own individual health pool. And it's not an assist type of game too. It's just like, you know, if your character gets knocked out, they just come out and you just go back in. It's like a 1v1 until like the next one shows up. But all in all, I'm gonna say it's tricky. I want to say in between good or badass.
Okay.
I'll give it a good. Well, no, well, that's not fair because I haven't. Think so? Yeah, I haven't been playing it a lot.
I would say that's fair. You know, because as much fun as we had with it, you know, there were a lot of problems with the game.
Yeah.
Like you would always hear people talking about like, you know, issues this that, and the other. So and then you know some of the characters were it was one of those weird things where like some of the characters were hella OP, and then others were just kind of meh. And then you had a freaking cosplaying Organization 13 member throwing sand at people.
Fucking pocket sand.
Was it Kukri?
Yeah.
So,
You know.
But
So,
it had an gel, so I'm gonna go with God tier for me because of F.R.E.A.K.S and I. We know where my priorities are.
Yeah. One of the definitely a very iconic level 3. I'll give you that.
Wait, who's level 3?
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sampers?
No, Angel.
No, Matt's like, hold on.
Let me look it up real quick. I
Angel,
just want to be
Calibur
sure.
14, level 3.
If I look it up, actually.
Wait, you actually don't remember?
Who's the character again? I'm so sorry.
Angel.
Angel. Her name
Angel.
Angel.
Oh, Angel. Okay.
Sorry,
Well, don't forget.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Well,
know.
don't forget,
Okay.
none of us really used Angel though, so he probably
Except me.
wouldn't remember.
She's hard as fuck
Oh yeah,
to
well,
use,
I mean
bro.
John would.
I remember trying to learn it for a little bit, but Jesus Christ,
Like,
my fingers.
Yeah,
Her, Blue Mary, and that was my team.
fair enough.
Hey, real
Nice.
talk. Blue Mary, not only is she a cool character, but she's a ride or die.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah,
She's Terry's number one, has his back, is willing to kick his ass to put him in his place if need be.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's his drinking
That's
buddy
it.
right there.
She's also
Like
a cool
that's why that's what I call my team wife.
Team waifu.
one. Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
So.
give that.
So do you remember her super now, Matt?
Indeed. That is good memory.
Yeah, so I didn't have a lot of time put in 14 myself, and I mean I gotta go. I don't want to be that guy, but let's be honest, the whole transition to like the whole 3D animation was kind of rough at the time.
Oh no,
It
it was. Yeah, it definitely was.
But even despite that, it was still fun to play. So good, right?
Yep. I'll give it a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good work.
Definitely good
Alright.
friend.
Very good. So Matt's like, We're not friends anymore, bro. I don't want to play with you anymore.
It's fine. It's cool. I get it. It's cool. I'm grown. I can take it.
I'm a grown man.
I'm a grown man.
Alright, so who has played the original Soul Calibur?
Never.
I have.
Alright, go ahead, gents.
Yeah, I was about to say the two old men in the room have.
Pretty much.
I only started with the one with like fucking Kratos.
Jesus Christ, I'm old.
I keep forgetting Kratos is in Soul Calibur.
It was like him. That was the one with like fucking what, Yoda and Vader, Link.
Yeah, you had Yoda, Vader, Link, and Kratos.
Spawn.
Yeah, I remember just walking up to the screen one day.
And then Star Killer.
And Ezio.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Star Killer was in
Ezio.
it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Fine.
the original Soul Calibur, I love the game, but I honestly feel, and John, please correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like for this tier, it would fit in cool.
Cool.
Honestly, yeah. It's like I had a ton of fun with it. I loved it to death, but I know it is not as good as the ones that followed.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's like I couldn't, in good conscience, say it's like as good as like Soul Calibur 6 or even like Marvel vs. Capcom. It's like it was great at its time, but even at its time, it wasn't as good as a lot of the other contemporaries.
Yeah.
It was one of those where, yeah, you had the seeds planted, but like, it wasn't quite there yet. Everything was just a little bit half-baked because they had made that transition from like PlayStation era.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was just almost.
It was a stepping stone.
Yeah.
To be honest, the game that you have 3 down, that's where things changed in a big way for that
Right.
franchise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure. So, yeah. I mean, I don't really think I played the first one, so I don't have much to say about it. So that is going to bring us to probably the most controversial Street Fighter game of all time, Street Fighter V.
Meh.
I'm with you on that. Meh.
Meh.
I'm 100% with you on that. Meh.
Dude, this one's gonna fucking get me canceled.
Like I don't like. I'm not even saying that because I hate the game. It's nothing like that. It's one of those that, like, when I look back at all the Street Fighter games, 5 is like one that I just, yeah, I played it, but I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
For
give it a
me?
cool.
Yeah. Oh, you're giving it a cool. Oh,
I'm giving it a cool.
fancy.
I'm kind of with Matt. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because I'm booty Street Fighter games, but I remember Matt tried to show me he tried to teach me how to play 5, and I was liking it for a good while. And then like over time, I started hearing like mixed reviews, like the updates, patches, and they kept giving new characters, and new characters kept coming out, and the new mechanics came out. What was it? The V trigger got a new thing.
Yeah.
Later on in and then that came out. It's just like the popularity of this game fluctuated over the years, and then eventually on like the end game patch happened, all the characters were out. I'm only giving it a cool because the DLC for those skins were crazy.
Yes.
Just the pricing for them. The skin looks great, but the pricing altogether for like the ones you want were just overpriced, I felt.
Right.
I would give it a I'm sorry, what's below badass?
Good?
I can't.
Good.
Good? Okay, yeah. I was gonna give it cool.
Okay.
I'll just give it a cool right now.
I agree. I don't think it's meh, only because the game is functional, and for the most part, there was a little bit of fun to be had. It's definitely one of my lesser favorite Street Fighter games. I'm not gonna deny that, but especially in comparison to the other ones. But at the same time, I don't think it's bad. So, for those reasons, I would be okay with keeping it at cool, but bottom of cool.
The bottom of cool.
Like, I'm fine with it being at cool as well, because again, even though I said meh, I'm not saying meh because I thought the game was bad. I'm saying meh because the game just didn't resonate with me.
Yeah, no, me
Like
neither.
so like that, it's just like it kind of came and went. And don't get me wrong, I know it's Street Fighter. I know it didn't just come and went. It lasted, but yeah, it's just for me personally. Yeah, cool is fine.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, Bison should have stayed dead. Anyways, so Mortal Kombat 2.
Badass only because 3 is already at God tier.
That's that makes sense.
This one's a little tough. Okay, because when people think of the original like trilogy of Mortal Kombat, a lot of them are going to say like, "Oh, 2 has always been my favorite because of the popularity behind it and the introduction of most of the iconic characters that were in the game." But I would have to agree. I would put it on Badass as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't deny it. I would like to. Personally, I'm kind of like, oh, I could see it being like at cool, but yeah, frankly, it is a solid game.
Yeah.
They did a great job with it, and it is a huge nostalgia factor to having that thing be there.
Until you start putting quarters in the machine and play against the AI, but that's besides the point. Yeah.
I'll second their opinion and go for Badass also.
There we go. Okay, yeah. I concede to that as well. So, alright. Do we even need to consider where this should go?
Hold on, let me zoom in.
Oh yeah, because obviously it's Kill It With Fire.
Yeah, clearly, right? So Calibur II. Ugh, never heard of it. Yeah.
That one, that one's pretty well god tier.
Yeah, not gonna waste any time considering it. It is absolutely god tier. Like, it's crazy. Like, my only real experience with the characters in the game is me playing as Spawn, which was so random. Spawn and Necrid, by the way. It's so odd.
Okay, so here, I agree it needs to be god tier, but I will say this. It sucked that we never got a version of the game where all 3 characters were on one version. Obviously, we know why. Different consoles.
Yeah, with Link especially.
Never is fun. But the fact that like we never got one where we could actually see, okay, all these 3 guest characters, which remember, they hyped the fuck out of each of them.
Yes.
They all got their own original trailers for them. And so it was like, it would have been great to see a version of the game where it's like, okay, now all 3 of these characters can fight against each other and we can see which one is the best one type of situation.
Right.
Spawn, obviously.
Yeah, I agree.
That being said, screw Link and his cheap ass cheating ways. That fuck that character.
Straight up, fuck him.
Yeah. I think the closest we've gotten was the Online HD collection where they had Spawn and Heihachi. But aside from that, but there was actually a lot to do in the game, right? Because a lot of different arcade versions that you could do, like time attack and then stuff like that. Weapon Master is enough to sell you on like hours on the game to get you like more different weapons. And yeah, man, it's still pretty damn fun to go through.
Yep.
So yeah, I 1000% agree with it being God tier. Which, I'm sure Sandy is freaking on fire thinking that 2 is better than 6, but that's besides me. So, Mortal Kombat X. How about this one?
Oh. Oh.
This one's gonna be controversial too. I'm not gonna lie.
Good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to say good. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Mortal Kombat as much as the next person, but when you reflect upon 9, X, and 11, let's just be real. X is the middle child.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. I agree.
It's like, and that's terribly unfortunate because it really shouldn't have been, but it so is.
Yeah. It did get the injustice feeling in the sense that a lot of the color was desaturated in the game.
Yep.
Unless you're doing that weird or using the fucking weird scorpion camo where he's infrared.
Yeah.
That is awful.
Oh yeah.
I would.
Yeah, the Gears of War-ification of games during that time. What color palette do we have? Brown!
Yeah. God damn it.
Yes!
I want to say,
yeah.
I want to give it a, maybe, shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you guys give it again?
Good.
Right now, the general consensus is good.
Good. I'll give it a bad. No, good's fine. Good's fine. Just
Good?
because in that combo pack they had with DLC, Alien was in it. Yeah,
Guest characters helped. Definitely.
yeah, I guess characters definitely
Oh.
helped.
No, don't get me wrong. Like, the guest characters were amazing. I mean, come on, you had the Xenomorph, you had the Predator, you had
Leatherface.
Leatherface, Jason.
Jason.
So,
Triborg, which is all 3 robots.
Yeah, exactly. Triborg. And then you could even glitch him to where you could get Cyber Sub-Zero, but he didn't have any specialties to him.
Yeah.
So like it has a lot of good stuff, but it's just, again, like I said, unfortunately it became the middle child, where it's like, hey, you did a good job, but I'm not putting your A+ on the refrigerator. That's for your younger and older siblings.
Just throw it in the trash.
I was like, oh, you completed the work. Yeah, I got an A! You completed the work.
I was like, good for you.
Yeah, so for me personally, I think compared to 9 and 11 as well, I played this one the least. And I think it's just more of circumstance, because around the time that this came out, I was around starting my term in the military at the time, and so I didn't really have I didn't have access to play any games really until like 2016. And even then, I was already kind of waiting for Injustice 2 to come out. So, didn't have a lot of time put in it, but when I did, I was playing as Sub-Zero and the Predator. Both pretty fun to play. And honestly, the gameplay very fast paced and very hard to read like the mix ups and shit. So I'll give it that. I felt like X and 9 were probably the most or the least stiff in terms of movement and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so,
and then I will say one other thing about X that, why I only think it's good. I'm sorry, but the music, like that's one thing that I will say that NRS has always not been good at, is music.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I get it, you want to be more like orchestral or whatever, that's fine. but you're still not really giving us anything. And it's like, come on, like these are life or death fights. Like we're literally splitting people in half at the end if we, so like come on, give us something. There should be like drum beats in the background. There should be like tribal, like yeah, you are fighting to the death. And a lot of times it's calm, quiet, somber music.
Yeah.
Until until you get the fatality and you get dun dun dun, and it's like, yeah, that's nice, but
yeah,
like, come on.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on
Spice
that.
it up.
Yeah, it's
it's like when you watch those compilation videos on YouTube and people put like high energy music to it, and you're like, yo, I'm feeling this now.
Yep.
That music in the game? No, it's not. Oh, never mind.
Damn it.
It's
Yeah.
like, what is this shit?
Yeah, I think a lot of people enjoyed Nines because of the fact that most of the music they used in that were either kind of like remixes of the original games. And so they're like, yeah, you know what? This feels traditional. I could actually fucking hear the music. So
Steve Aoki did the music for it, a soundtrack for it.
Okay.
And I actually, have homie that throws cakes at people.
That
Nice.
motherfucker has like pinpoint accuracy with those sheet cakes. It's fucking astonishing.
Dude, no. Matt, if you don't know what we're talking about, because I have a feeling you probably might not, look up Steve Aoki cake throwing. This man goes and buys like a full sheet cake from like Costco, gets on stage between the song, and people are like, hit me. He will chuck it halfway, if not all the way across the room, and smack a person dead center with the entire cake.
Oh my god.
Fucking shit.
It's astonishing. I love it. I can't get enough of that shit because it is just wild.
And here's the bigger thing. He throws it with enough force that the cake does not come off of the plate that it's on.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Holy
like,
shit.
Motherfucker, I mean, like, legitimately just hucks it.
It's like you would think he was like an expert at shot put or some shit.
Yeah, no, I'm dead serious. Look that up because it is something to behold, and it's one of those things where it's like, yo, I would gladly raise my hand to get hit by that because that's just impressive as hell.
Like the accuracy of precision is incredible.
It's a hell of a bitch to clean up, though.
Yeah.
Not his problem.
Yeah, you're right.
Homie out here hitting you like he's Cyclops using his perfect precision.
Optic blast.
His neck muscles must be fucking crazy.
Oh my god. Oh man. All right, so to kind of bring us back in the topic, the OG Tekken. So I think we could agree this is meh, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I trust your
Honestly,
judgment.
in the grand scheme of things, I would definitely agree with meh. It's a decent enough fighting game. It is absolutely nothing special. If anything, it's just very much oh look, it's the beginning of a franchise.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure, because yeah, like I might have played through Tekken once, and yeah, even then it was just like, yeah, the animation's not really that great, but at the time they were revolutionary. But even so, Virtua Fighter still kind of had the advantage, but not for long.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, I do feel bad at the fact that we don't have Virtua Fighter on this list.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't.
I never played it myself, so yeah. All right, so
we don't even have. There's quite. Wait a minute! I just realized something.
What?
What?
We don't have Garu, Mark of the Wolves. We don't have Virtua Fighter. We don't have a couple other fighting games, but you fucking put Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe?
Hey, man. Okay. Yeah, I did.
Test your might.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you want to bring it up, we'll bring it up. So, where does MK versus DC go?
Probably
Kill it with fire.
Kill it with fire.
Yeah, it's like that was pretty much the weakest one of the generation by a pretty fair margin.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like I hate to give an SNK game that, but it deserves it.
And it's like I didn't like how they made the fucking DC heroes. They didn't give them fatalities. They gave them what they call brutalities, or did they still call them fatalities?
So they were called, if you were a DC hero, it was heroic brutalities.
Which wasn't even that brutalic. It was just like, what, the lamest one to me was Flash's. He just tornadoes them and just uppercuts them and then heroic brutality.
Yeah, and then he like stomps at you, like tap dances on you.
Exactly. Like, what is this?
It's very stupid, I know. But you know how it is, bro. At the time, DC wasn't really game with having the heroes do something like super violent. Until recently, you know, obviously they're not afraid to kind of go that route now. Which, you know, and that's what I keep saying, like, if MK versus DC would happen around, like, this time,
Massively different. Yeah. Massively different.
Yeah, very different. Like, they would not be afraid to be more gruesome with their fatalities and shit. So and yeah, that's the thing. MK versus DC was a great concept, but it just came out at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Frankly, yeah.
So I think it's cool. I'll put it at cool with Street Fighter V.
Hell no, I'll put it at meh.
No, actually, no. I'll take that back. Yeah, I'll put that in meh, just because of that annoying thing they had with test your might. We had to run through the walls with your opponent. You have to mash the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, that's true. I remember that.
I was like, oh my god, I can't do this.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I played through the game very, very briefly. So yeah.
There is a game that you have on this list that I really truly believe kill it with fire.
I do too, and don't worry, we'll get there.
Jose lies. Oh, you'll never get there.
No, you know what? Let's talk about it right now.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Oh, okay. That's not what I was thinking. Okay, well, let me get the obvious one out of the way. This is Street Fighter 1. We know why it's here. So, I mean, having played it much more than I probably should have, which is, you know, if you played Street Fighter 1 for more than 0 seconds, then you've played it too much. So
pretty much. It's like
it's not good.
I played that early on in DOS.
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Not good. The inputs are annoying, especially if you don't know how negative edge works. But good lord, is it a pain in the ass to play. So yeah, kill it with fire, absolutely. And yeah, we'll get to Street Fighter Cross Tekken in a bit, but let's go with the palate cleanser, right? Tekken 5.
I didn't mind it. I think I played. That was like the.
Yeah, I would say good. I would say like between good and badass, because Tekken 5 was one of those games that, like, again, aging myself, arcades, people were digging it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a hot take, at least for this group. I actually like Tekken 5 more than 3.
You're dead to us.
Well, okay, for one, it's mainly due to the fact that I have very little time put into Tekken 3.
Well, also to be fair, I will say this: Tekken 5 is one of those generational games
Yes.
where there is a core generation of the FGC that Tekken 5 was literally the game that brought them into fighting games.
Right.
So like so I would like it did that, and again, like always, had great music.
Mm-hmm.
Tekken 5 was the one that gave us the infamous Heihachi Mishima is dead. You know. So yeah, no. But I would say though that some of the play style in the game was a little bit slow.
It was slow. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's just because I really want to put it on Badass personally, because okay, before Tekken 7 and 8, Tekken 5 was my go-to because I felt like the roster was like really good in that game. The character select was probably the best in the series. Probably still is. And Moonlit Wilderness is a freaking classic.
I'm not against putting it in Badass, to be honest.
Yeah, so I mean, if you guys want to push back, by all means, let me know.
Yeah.
No, I'll be kind.
John being kind, that's a first.
Don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. This is my get out of jail free card for this, I guess.
It's a one-time deal.
All right, so now for the
everybody gets one.
There you go. Thank you, Spider-Man. All right, so oh boy, oh boy, Mortal Kombat 4.
Meh.
I agree. I agree.
It's didn't quite take to the transition too well.
Not at all.
At least not in the beginning.
No. Yeah. It was interesting because I do agree at the time that going into the 3D realm was an absolute must, because at the time with the MK games, that did have a bit of burnout within the community and be like, okay, how can we make this series fresh again? Like, okay, let's go into the 3D route. But the problem with MK4 is that it felt like it was if Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 became a 3D game, because a lot of shit they brought from the original games. Like the fatalities and all that.
It was also super sluggish.
Yeah. And also Shinnok as the main villain was not really a sell either.
Nope.
Yeah, unfortunate. It's not MKX was a better MK4 than MK4.
Yes, it was.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So, all right, here we go. Jose, go ahead.
Calibur Fire.
Street Fighter Cross
Tekken. This game was glitchy as hell. I don't know if any of you ever saw it. There was a glitch that if you did a like a kick, like a high kick, that your opponent every now and then would literally get kicked, hop into the air, and spin like a wash cycle, and slowly fall to the ground.
Oh my god! I mean, I know about the one where Box Art Mega Man, if you do a specific input, he fucking like leaves the stage, and if he has a health advantage, it's like impossible to touch him. I know about that one.
There was that. The fact that the gem system, I think in fighting games, when you are trying to win based off of skill, having gems that there were many combinations that you could play that you could set up, and your characters were broken.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there was a reason why a lot of tournaments were saying, hey, no gem system.
Damn. So yeah,
So no, like,
yeah.
and then the whole thing about how like, oh, this was supposed to be one of two games, Street Fighter cross Tekken, and then Tekken cross Street Fighter, which that never happened.
It might.
Um,
Who knows?
Shut up. Um, a lot of the art style in this, just honestly, it's not as good as people think it is.
It's bad.
It's bad, but I
it's
don't think it's the worst.
No.
Oh no! It's definitely not the worst. It's not the worst, but it's one of those things where it's like, why is there so much shading on them?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
Oh, yeah.
it's basically if Street Fighter 4 had like more saturation and bulkiness to the muscles. Like it was crazy.
Oh, and then let's also not forget the fact that everyone, didn't matter of gender, had Sasquatch hands and Sasquatch feet.
Yeah, it was very odd. Yeah. I would put it a meh, honestly, because I
Yeah.
don't think it's any higher.
You are dead to me, giving me a meh. Dead to me.